What is going on, guys? I apologize for this glare. I know it's super annoying. I have a super uh, crappy old camera on this laptop. So, yeah, I'm sure a number of you have seen my community post I recently made. Um, I was shocked to discover, well, there's no reason to be shocked. There's always a simulation of everything major before it takes place, it seems. If we're talking about 9/11, there was an exercise of that exact scenario done right before the event. If we're talking about the virus, I'm sure most of you know about Event 201, an exercise that simulated the exact scenario. And thus, there was a war game that exercised this exact scenario of Russia invading Ukraine. And if it is not stopped, the most, basically, the most likely outcome of that is 1.5 billion dead. And I know that sounds outrageous and ridiculous and impossible, but I don't think that it is. Not at all. Because let's just say that the narrative to some degree is correct as to the reason why this is happening. And Putin has two choices. He can either back down and retreat and say that he failed, because it seems like he is failing. I don't know, something's not going right here. Unless this is a trick, which I don't see a lot of people talking about. They keep saying that this 40-mile long convoy is stuck outside of Kiev. I don't think it's stuck. I think this is some kind of psychological operation taking place here. You have the army engineers that could, if there's down bridges, they could put up a new bridge in a couple of days. It's not really a big deal. I don't think they're stuck at all. I think they're outside of the city to witness an event that is possibly being planned for that city. And I don't even want to talk about what that is because it's too disturbing. Sure, most of you already heard about the news. It's my wife's hometown is all over the news today. And this message that we got, she doesn't know the person personally. She just went to this church when she lived there, growing up there, basically. So, and again, guys, I know I made a bunch of videos about this subject, right? But look at it this way: it's hard to talk about other things right now, unless or until the situation dies down. And if it dies down, then I could probably possibly formulate the right headspace again to sort of get back into my normal stuff, which none of it is normal. None of anything that's been going on over the last few years is normal. While the Ukraine invasion is happening, you have record 1 in 1,000 year floods in Australia. Why do we get these floods several times a year? Why do we get these record wildfires several times a year? Why are we having record volcanic eruptions? It's not just an invasion, and it's not just about Ukraine either. There is something way bigger going on, and the Mandela effect is related to this. All of these things are connected together. I don't believe for one bit that these are all separate, isolated things. If it is the Antichrist birthing process, then it is. If it's not, if it's something else, then we'll find out what that is, I think, sooner at this point rather than later, because it seems like we have hit a point of absolute momentum where this will result in some grand unveiling or a massive global event, whether that be a nuclear war, coronal mass ejection, or both, or a true awakening, or all of the above. All of the above. We shall see. I think our time is getting really close to what we've been, waiting for in our journey of self-discovery, to what this whole thing has been all about all these years. And even if the truth is unpleasant, it's better to know that truth than to ignore it. Anyway, I'm getting off on a rant here, so I'm going to read in Russian a few words, then I'll translate it to English. Otherwise, it's my head is going to spin if I just directly... No, you can't see that anyway. If I just directly translate that, so let me just go ahead and go. So this is from my wife's hometown, Mariupol, and her old church. Письма брата из Мариуполя. So, to our brothers from Mariupol. Добрый вечер, друзья. Очень прошу молиться за нас. Good evening, everyone. I really ask everyone to pray for us. Вам даже в голову не придет, что здесь творится. You have no idea how bad things are here. Мы с семьей с левобережной церкви, по милости Божией, мы живы. Город просто стирает с лица земли. So, by the glory of God, myself and my family are safe, but our city is being erased from the face of the earth. Он разгромлен полностью. Электрики нет. Все провода на земле, газа нет. It's completely destroyed. There is no electricity. There's no electrical wires. There's the gas pipelines are gone. There's no infrastructure. Люди выходят на камнях на улицы, варят себе еду. People are going outside to cook food on rocks. Воды нет, бензина нет. У нас в церкви скважина, соленая вода. So there's no water, there's no gas. There is water flowing through their church, but it's salty. Alright, sorry. And they're drinking salty tea. И чай пьем соленый. Глава Господу хоть что. Люди на улицах голодные. So people are starving outside. Магазины разбитые, разграблены. Грады стреляют, пушки, авиация, бомбы просто падают вокруг нескольких метрах от церкви. So he said all the stores are raided and looted. They're shooting mortars and artillery all around their church. Просто падают вокруг в несколько метров, a few meters from the church. Управляет этими метрами, и у нас только вылетают окна, но мы живы. So their windows are gone, but they're still alive. So their windows have been bombed out at the church. Сейчас включены генераторы, и мы зарядили телефоны, и за все время появились в сеть, и я быстро пишу, пока не пропало. So they were able to turn on a generator, and they were able to have internet for a brief time, and he's writing this message while he has a short period of internet. Молитесь у нас. Хотели с семьей выехать, когда был коридор, машина сразу сломалась. They were packed up and ready to leave with their family, but their car broke down when the quote-unquote humanitarian corridor was opened. Okay. Господь не дал далеко ехать. We couldn't get far. Надеясь на Господа, что Он для нас что-то придумает. He's hoping God will help him in some way. Даже если все закончится, жить людям негде. Even if everything ends, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. Целые подъезды выгорели, в домах дырки, насквозь разбито все, школы разбиты. So he's saying buildings are bombed out, schools are bombed out, few buildings are left intact. Написано, не ужасайтесь, это еще не конец. He said, that's not all, there's more. Но это очень страшно. Трупы лежат на улицах, не успевает собирать. He said bodies are lying all around outside and they don't have time to pick them all up and bury them. А может и не соберут. And he said most likely they're not going to pick them up. Очень сложно, молитесь, мародевор много. По милости Божией нас в церкви кормят 2 раза. Вчера за все время первый раз помыла детей. So they're able to eat twice a day at the church. I guess they have some reserves. And they were able to shower, I guess, for the first time in a long time. Or wash their kids or something. С моря можно нанести, но греть нечем. На генераторах готовят еду. They're cooking food on the generators. На всем экономят. Молитесь о нас, пусть Господь. So they're obviously saving everything they can. Правителям даст мудрости, и они договорятся, как дальше жить, не знаем. So he's hoping that there will be a peace treaty of some kind or something. And he was just saying to pray for them. Yeah. So, you know, if you're able to have a little bit of prep, a little bit of stuff stored away, it's probably a good idea. And it's not something that's fear porn or a thing that to panic about. There's always a chance, if there's a miracle, that this will die down, of course. Sorry about all those sounds. But, you know, it's just always smart if you have the ability to, you know, at least have something. I do. I don't have much, but I guess a few months possibly if we're conservative. And you know, even my wife, I was talking about those gas masks the other time I made a video, and really didn't want to get them, but I just did anyway because she wasn't opposed. I guess my wife thinks that this is going to go nuclear. So found some cheap old Finnish army surplus gas masks and hopefully never have to use them, but we'll have them, you know. They could actually have a purpose. And it's so sad that we have to say that. In the type of world that we live in a world where we have to take precautionary measures like this because of absolute psychotic evil monsters that could potentially kill hundreds of millions or billions of people, and that is such a real possibility. I think it's more likely than it's not. And it's so sad we have to live in a place like that. It's so sad that such weapons, they didn't get rid of, like, after World War II, after they were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they didn't think to themselves, maybe we should just get rid of all of them. No, they decided to build thousands more. And this is only something that is possible with total psychopathy, with total malevolence. It's not possible for it not to be evil. This is absolute malevolent evil, because a normal planet would have learned their lessons from that. And maybe it won't get that far. Maybe it won't. But the fact that this war is already taking place is already bad enough on its own without the use of nukes. Because obviously we never learn our lesson, do we? Have a good day.